to shake off the jitters, I think, early in this ballgame, looking to settle in to the knee injury.
And that's the way to push the ball in transition.
Oh, that's not going to waste much time. Caitlin Clark has her second three-pointer.
And Gazzardo, the head coach. Her team rallied twice in the South Lake Conference Tournament for wins, and that one dead on. Right on the money.
Over 20 years of watching NBA basketball, we've seen our fair share of rivalries and disrespect from the basketball media, be it men's or women's.
Here is Clark. She will launch and bury a three.
Some moments still feel like personal affronts. Bradley Beal scoring more than 30 points per game and not even being selected to the All-Star team. Insane. James Harden, who didn't make the All-NBA team in 2021 while playing 65 games and scoring an average of 22 points.
August 29th, ESPN placed Angel Reese ahead of Caitlin Clark on the Rookie of the Year ladder.
But just when we thought we'd seen it all, ESPN took disrespect to another level. On August 7th, as the WNBA playoffs loomed large, ESPN posted what seemed like an innocent tweet. Which rookies are vying for the top spot? Who's going to be Rookie of the Year?
WNBA playoffs in sight. Which rookies are vying for the top spot?
Nothing controversial there, but then came the kicker. Who's number one ahead of Indiana's Caitlin Clark? Wait, what? Ahead of Caitlin Clark? Is this the same Caitlin Clark who's almost single-handedly rewritten the Iowa record book in her first season with the team? And then, the final straw for ESPN was having Angel Reese ranked higher than Caitlin Clark in their Rookie of the Year rankings. It wasn't over just a questionable decision. It was over a blatant violation of the truth. And Caitlin, she didn't need to argue. She didn't need to tweet. She just tied her shoelaces and gave her reply in the only language she understands best, basketball. This is the ultimate payback of Caitlin Clark to Angel Reese. This was not a simple rookie comparison that we've seen time and again. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese had history, one that'd been fermenting since their college years. In the 2023 NCAA Championship, Angel provoked Caitlin with a "you can't see me" sign from the wrestler John Cena and gesturing at her ring finger. It wasn't just fun and games, and it wasn't even playful banter. It was very personal. Jump to the WNBA, and the tension only increased even further. Angel Reese was very much an entertaining character. She slapped Caitlin on the head during a game, laughed at Caitlin fell to the ground after a nasty block, and even shaded her during the All-Star weekend. Angel even scored a three-pointer during practice when Caitlin shot hers, and even took a moment to show off, omitting Caitlin from the dance. When questioned about the rivalry, Angel played it cool again, saying, "Me and Caitlin Clark don't hate each other. I want everybody to understand that. It's just a super competitive game." By her third year in college basketball, Caitlin Clark had become one of the most exciting players out there, averaging a triple-double and possessing Steph Curry's shooting ability with Magic Johnson-like vision on the floor. Her best moments were not only trending online, they were unskippable. Despite scoring an average of 27 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds during her junior year, Clark led Iowa to the NCAA Finals with a splendid display. Among them were her 41 points against South Carolina in the Final Four, which stopped the defending champions' 42-game winning streak. The Bayou Barbie, Angel Reese, also had her own story to tell. In her transfer from the University of Maryland to LSU, she played for the coach, Kim Mulkey. Reese came with determination, rebounding prowess, and personality to the court that saw her as a double-double player and leading the LSU team to a great season. Reese was cocky and very stylish with it. Nobody needed telling when they were beaten by this lady. Reese and Clark were taking most of the limelight, and fans were eagerly waiting to see Reese and Clark in the 2023 NCAA Women's Basketball National Championship Finals.
And if you're wondering why that's so outrageous, let me break it down for you with the story of the day Caitlin Clark humiliated her bully, Angel Reese.
This is about the second August match. Right from the outset, LSU assumed the role of aggressor. Jasmine Carson, along with Angel Reese, was spectacular. She scored 21 points in the first half alone. She hit all of her 5 three-point attempts, and Iowa's defenders had no answer to her shooting prowess. LSU was too balanced on the offense, and Reese was a beast on the glass, grabbing 9 rebounds in the first half. Iowa never seemed to get into a rhythm as LSU continued to apply pressure and pressure throughout the game. On the other side, Caitlin Clark was trying her best to help Iowa stay in the game. Double-teamed and harassed at every opportunity, she was able to score 16 points in the first half, including several difficult shots, despite the fact that LSU was making a conscious effort to deny her the basketball. This was evident again when Clark scored, and this proved why she ranked as one of the most dangerous players to meet in women's college basketball.
Who has done that for LSU throughout this tournament, including in the come-from-behind win in the semifinals against Virginia Tech.
This was the score at halftime. LSU 59, Iowa 42. What was obvious to everyone was that Iowa had the tough part of the draw, but with Caitlin Clark at the helm, they were far from out of it yet.
Afraid to take the outside shot. They're going to give it to us. We're going to take it.
Clark has it knocked away. Here comes Reese, pushing in transition, and a foul called on Stokey will put Reese at the line.
The second half started with Clark coming to the floor with vengeance in her eyes. She immediately scored back-to-back three-pointers, which brought us closer to LSU and also hushed the atmosphere. This was just a signal of the onslaught from Iowa. The leadership skills were visible when Clark distributed the ball for Iowa. Even though LSU's defense was pressuring Clark at every opportunity, she did not step back and scored 14 more to reach 30 points with 8 assists and 2 steals. All these came out clearly in her performance throughout the match, showing talent, hard work, and someone who could be depended on no matter the situation.
Early with some turnovers. They've done a really nice job over the last few possessions. They've created a couple themselves, and now Angel Reese at the line to try and extend the lead.
Nevertheless, LSU's depth and defensive changes were a few bridges that Iowa could not cross. Each time Clark attempted to psych her team into coming back, LSU had a response for it. Carson, Reese, and Flau'jae Johnson were the target's threats, and with a balanced attack, they overpowered the Hawkeyes. Reese kept on dominating the paint. Her team collected 44 rebounds against Iowa's 33. Finally, LSU's capacity to do so much floor bending and maintaining the heat on the Hawkeyes decided the issue.
And that is going to be a 10-second violation. A 10-second violation on LSU.
In the last moments of what was clearly going to be a win for LSU, as the clock was winding down, Angel Reese had her individual highlight. Just before the game seemed like it was going to be all wrapped up, she held up her ring finger as if to say LSU's going to be the champions. It was not only the end of the season, which concluded with the championship game, it showed a turning point for women's college basketball. The win that finalized LSU as champions introduced Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark to the national stage. These two sharp players' differing characters and approaches to the game provided contemporary topics for social media, sports programs, and more. In the post-game interview, Caitlin Clark handled the controversy surrounding her well and professionally. After the games, she did not deny Reese's skills or the performance of the LSU team. This was followed by more grace under pressure and more appreciation showered on her by fans and analysts who commended her for being focused and polite to her opponent. Angel Reese, however, defended herself well for whatever she did. Her attitude was something that her fans appreciated, especially those who supported the aggressive attitude she had towards the game. Self-confidence became an important element of the evolving brand of Reese, and her willingness to be herself only strengthened the competitive aspect of the show with Clark. This was not the usual championship game. It was an icon of the culture. The championship game of the 2023 Women's NCAA Tournament between LSU and Iowa attracted 9.9 million viewers, which sets records. It helped to identify the potential of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, who are truly amazing players, as well as focus on women's college basketball like never before. This made the rivalry very interesting as they pitched different styles and personalities to take the game to a new level. These two ladies took up the mantle for a new generation of women in sports, competitive, strong-willed, and gifted. This game will not be erased from the consciousness of both participants and future generations of women's basketball. Caitlin Clark's greatness continues to remain unstoppable. Which was the most entertaining rookie rivalry in the WNBA history, and how do Caitlin and Angel fall into that equation? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Share the video with your basketball communities, and for more detailed coverage of WNBA's hottest topics, hit that subscribe button. But that's where Caitlin's story begins, and you don't want to switch the channel, do you?